What's going on, guys? We're back with another video for Money May. This is going to be our fourth and final one for May. I haven't decided what we're going to do for June yet, but we'll just kind of play it by ear and see where it goes for now. But this video specifically is going to be how to build credit fast. And without any further ado, let's jump right in. So the first thing I wanted to touch on is your age, okay? Because credit acts differently depending on your age. If you are under 18, you're going to have a couple options because you have to be 18 to have a credit card. But the first option you have if you are under 18 is have your parents or someone that's close to you add you as an authorized user on the credit card. And as you and your partner start making purchases and paying them back, your credit history will be built up by the time you hit 18. So that's a really good option to start with because it gives you a head start in the world of credit. The second option you have if you are under 18 is a joint credit card account with your partner, where both of you are liable to pay on the account and use the account. Now, if you're over 18, your options kind of start opening up. The majority of people who did not have someone to authorize them as a user on their credit card are going to have a couple options when starting out with new credit. Lots of people say open a secured credit card because it's a great way to build up your credit. But I say no. And specifically why is because your credit is a measure of how reliable you are when you are lent money. And with a secured credit card, you are only borrowing from your own money. So there's nothing to be reported. There's no credit history being built. The second option you have once you hit 18 is apply for a credit card. There are a numerous amount of credit cards that you can apply for, which I will touch on later, but that will be a great start. And then the third option is have someone with good credit add you as an authorized user because it builds credit history. Credit history is so very important. Your credit history has to do with everything. It's checked every time you apply for a credit card, finance a vehicle, a home, any kind of loan. And credit history really goes hand in hand with your credit score. Poor history equals poor score. And I wanted to kind of give you guys a real life example that I kind of went through myself. My bank offered a secured credit card, so I went ahead and did that. I deposited $300 and created that secured credit card account and built up my credit score to around 700. With that 700 credit score, I went to go and look for vehicles to purchase and finance with a minimal amount of down payment because I was in need of a vehicle. But when I arrived to the dealership and wanted to finance the vehicle, they had told me that I had no credit history because I wasn't borrowing from a credit bureau or a credit card or a loan even, but I was only taking money away from myself. So therefore I had no credit built with the bureaus and in turn had no credit history. And without a credit history or a cosigner and a minimal down payment, I was denied the vehicle. So after that incident, I had to shut down my secured credit card and apply for an actual credit card. Now, when applying for a credit card, you want to look at a couple things. You want to look at the interest rates and the perks. Now, the interest rates are going to be represented by an acronym called APR, the annual percentage rate. Now, there are a couple different kinds of APRs, and you really want to take those into consideration when applying for a credit card. A high interest rate means more money you have to pay on later. But I kind of wanted to give you a couple different examples of the different types of APRs. So the first one is going to be purchase APR. So this is going to be an interest rate applied to purchases made with a credit card. So every time you buy something, it's going to apply interest to whatever you have bought. The second one is going to be the balance transfer APR. And now this rate is applied to balances transferred from another credit card. So if you are moving funds between different credit cards this is where that APR will come in. The third one I wanted to touch on is the cash advance APR. This is the rate applied when you are using an ATM to take money off of your credit card. The general census is that usually the interest rates on taking money off of a credit card are going to be higher. Now, last but not least is the penalty APR. It is a higher rate that could be applied if you were to miss a payment or violate other terms on the credit card agreement. So when you are applying for cards, you really want to look at the interest rate on the credit card as well as the perks. Some examples of the perks are cash back, free travel miles, stuff like that. Now we're moving on to checking our credit score. There are a couple different credit bureaus that keep track of our credit score and our credit history, and the most important and accurate one of them all is going to be FICO. Your FICO scores is what 90% of loan providers use. Things like Credit Karma can tend to be off by large amount, but the other credit bureaus that are out there cover different parts of the US, and Equifax is going to manage the South and East, Experian West, and then TransUnion serves the kind of the central or the middle of the US. Moving on. Now the part that you were all waiting for, the fastest, most efficient, streamlined way to reach a 700 plus credit score. So the fastest way is going to be apply for a credit card. And when you apply for that credit card, there's going to be a balance of what they give you. They're going to say $500 or $1,000. And you really want to utilize that credit card every chance you get, but just be sure to not use over 30%. 30% is the ideal amount to use and then pay off to show that you are reliable and credible. The second thing you must do is pay on your bills or loans early. An early payment will raise your credit score more than an on-time payment. So the process I like to repeat over and over again is buy something worth 30% of my credit, wait about 2 weeks, and then pay it all off. Because paying the amount in full also shows them that you have the money to pay back what you have borrowed. And now the third and final thing to do is, if you know someone with a good credit score, have them add you as an authorized user, because it shows that they trust you and the credit bureaus trust them. Now, if you just repeat those processes and utilize these 3 steps right here, you're sure to be at a 700 plus in no time. But alright, I think that's going to do it for us today, guys. If you have any questions, make sure to leave a comment down in the comment section. If you like the video, make sure to like it. And I will see y'all later.